Imagine God as your mother. Because let's face it, for some of us grew up with very nurturing mother who understood what it meant to be a mother. We're talking in the physical world, nurturing a woman in our house, maybe a couple of them in our house, mother, grandmother. For others of us, we grew up with like this irritated person. At least they seemed to be irritated when they looked at us. And some of us grew up with downright abusive people in our home who seemed to hate us, and it made no sense. You know, it's my mother. Why is she so mad at me all the time? Why doesn't she like me? So so I can't get up here and talk about how all mothers are so wonderful. On the physical level, they're not, but on a metaphysical level, fantastic. On a metaphysical level, mother is wonderful. I want to read something to you. It's short, sweet. Comes from the comes from the Revealing Word. And the term is, Charles Fillmore, this is a book on the metaphysical definitions of a lot of words that we use in New Thought. And this is divine motherhood. And Charles Fillmore says, the brooding, remember, mother's brood, the brooding, nourishing element of divine mind, or God, in which spiritual ideals are brought to fruition. What is God but divine principle and divine idea? That everything we have manifested is a divine idea. It started in the invisible, right down to each one of us in this room. And it started in the invisible. We did not exist except as a divine idea. Those of you who have given birth must know that your children started as a divine idea and then came into the physical. Now, I don't compare people with, but these chairs started as a divine idea. They were invisible at one point, and there was a divine thought that said, I need a chair, I need a child, I need, there's a divine thought. And then things begin to formulate, and it is within the power of love that we can bring life as we know it into fruition. It is the power of love and life that builds, that grows, that molds, that brings about. So I went to the Unity's co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, who's called the Mother of Unity. And in her book, Healing Letters, here at the beginning, and she says here, but dear, I feel you are crowning me with an honor that belongs to the Holy Spirit. When she was called the Mother of Unity, she understood her source. She said, but I feel that you are crowning me with an honor that belongs to the Holy Spirit, which is omnipresent and which expresses in the loving desires of the hearts of all those who are endeavoring to manifest the mother side of God. You call me the Mother of Unity. Well, now I know of nothing that would give me greater joy than to feel that God could work so perfectly through me as to bring forth a great ministry and a place of peace and goodwill and health, such as this Unity School. But in reality, I feel that I am only the soul who caught the first vision of this ministry and who nurtured that vision until others came along to help in the establishment of it in the minds and hearts of our dear ones, and to help in the molding in substance the outer forms of this school and its work. It is my great joy to perceive somewhat of the mother side of God, the divine love that never fails and that is equal to the drawing of souls to itself. It is my prayer to be able to radiate the qualities of this divine love to all. You too are the Mother of Unity, because in your heart you have the same ideals and the same great generous spirit and the endless and tireless service and the love that never fails. The Mother of Unity is the universal mother. How happy we are to represent this mother. What I'd like to preach about every Sunday really is that Divine love exists because it cannot not exist. Now, will I express it today? Will I express it to myself by God letting it go through myself? Will I express it to the ones I like? It's hard enough to do it with those ones, isn't it? Let alone the ones I don't like. The ones I have an opinion about. Will I express this mother love to all those? Put my judgments aside, because you see, the divine mother, the divine ideal of mother, has no opinions about a single one of us, especially me. The divine mother has not one opinion about me. It is love. And it is willing that I express myself in love, that I express myself in peace, that I express myself in joy, that I express myself while in this body as co-creator, as co-creator, as co-creator. So imagine that divine mother is nothing like my physical mother. Is nothing. At this point, at these ages, our mothers are now our peers. Whether they're still even here in the physical, they are now our peers. We are brother and sister, sister and sister. And we are just looking to each other to walk into divine love together, to use each other. So many of you have told before that just before my mother made her transition, I thanked her for my childhood. All the stuff I didn't like, as well as the stuff I liked. And I was clear I would never lie about what took place, but that I was never going to attack her again for it. I was never going to tell her that my life wasn't perfect because of what she had done in her confusion as a child. Because you see, or when I was a child, when I was a little boy, I went and agreed with my mother's confusion. And one would say, well, child, how does a child know better? I don't know, but I do know that ignorance of the law is not exemption of the law. And so, as a little child, I grew up confused because I agreed to be confused. Because there are some kids who don't. This is how I know that not everyone has to agree with the confusion of their adults. Because some don't. Some do not agree with that. And often they get punished for it on the physical. But they walk through that punishment still knowing who they are. Wouldn't you, at your age, like to know who you are? Anybody who's not yet sure of who they are, would you like to at this age?
Yes.
And yay. Yay. To know who and what you are, rather than who you aren't. I've got a room at home filled with what isn't. I've got a room in my home filled with what isn't. I've got a room in my mind filled with what isn't. I've got a body filled with what isn't. I've got relationships filled with what isn't. Because I've been telling myself a story that isn't true and claiming it as my own. You know, when you and I battle, we're telling each other a story of what isn't. Hopefully we're trying to find our way to what is. Hopefully, if two of us battle, one of us is going to be sane enough at some point to say, okay, enough of telling what isn't. What is here? Where is God here? Where's love here? Where's peace here? Where's joy here? I had to do that in my relationship with my mother. At a certain point, I had to decide, where is love here? God can't be absent all the time. Just because I don't see my mother as remembering, well, then maybe it's my job to remember. See, I can't remember. I shared this the other day somewhere. that I heard somebody years ago in my healing process say, I'm tired of sitting around waiting for my parents to give me a good childhood. And I realized that was me. I was like 33 at the time, and I thought, that was me, waiting for that, them to make it up to me. And it's the impossible path to forgiveness. You see, the impossible path was, if they would just make it not have happened, I will forgive them. But my teachers told me, it did happen, Shawn. You just don't know what it meant. The events happened. You just don't have a clue what it meant. But if God is for us, then nothing is against us. So I looked at that and I thought, okay, so all that stuff wasn't against me. All that stuff that most of us would call really poor parenting that I experienced, so it wasn't against me. And I had to look at it and thought, well, look at me today. I kind of like me. I'm okay today. I have an awareness of God. I have an awareness of good. I don't hate myself today. And I don't hate my mother today. Okay, I don't even hate my neighbor today. Oh, well, I couldn't have this then if it weren't for that, because all that's a part of me. I experienced all of it, in confusion and in light. Experienced every bit of it. Maybe today I'll decide it was good, even if I don't know how it was good. Because that, my teachers told me, was my path to peace. They told me gratitude would help me heal faster than anything else. That will help me faster than Advil. That will help me faster than a sleeping pill. That will help me faster than your approval. That will help me. Gratitude will help me to heal. So my teachers told me, you need to find gratitude in everything, Shawn. In absolutely everything. And so I began to look for that. And I began to look at my father, my mother, my grandparents, my brothers, and all the pain I'd experienced. And I started giving thanks for it. I started giving it because I was surrendering to my understanding of God. And by the way, your entire experience of life depends on your current understanding of God. That's how you will experience your joy in life right now, or your misery in life right now, is according to your understanding of God. Because nobody's doing it to us anymore. It's not happening to us. It's all coming from us. And so if I put down the word bad, this terrible thing happened, this bad thing happened, it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But it shouldn't, but it did. But it shouldn't, but it did. And we can live our whole lives that way but it shouldn't have happened. But it did. What if I don't know what happened? What if I only know it hurt? What if that's all? Ouch. 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 Ouch doesn't mean bad. Ouch means ouch. And then imagine with the ouch, you say, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what I'm giving thanks for, but thank you. They told me it would make me better. They told me gratitude. And then I have to, once I get in the habit of starting to say thank you, then I have to start looking at it and say, now, am I grateful? Would I be willing to be grateful if there were something good in this that I'm not currently seeing? Would that be okay if I were grateful that there were good in this that I'm not currently seeing? Is it possible? Is it just possible that there is good in this which I'm not currently seeing? Well, I see a lot of heads nodding yes, thank goodness. That's a good start. So you see, I don't have to stay upset anymore. I don't have to keep telling myself a story that it was terrible. I could say it was painful. It was painful because I was so confused. To this day, in traffic sometimes, it's painful because I was so confused. I thought I was good today, and then they cut me off in traffic, and then this happened. Somebody yelled at me at the store, and then it rained. And then it snowed. I thought I was good, and then weather happened. Shawn told me I was good. And somebody cut me off in traffic. Shawn told me I was good. And weather happened. Shawn told me I was good, and my spouse is irritable today. Shawn told me I was good, and I sprained my ankle. Shawn told me I was good, and I don't have any money. And I don't know where I'm going to get any money. Shawn told me I was good. And yet all this stuff is happening. So I guess you have to decide, is Shawn right? Or are conditions going to tell you whether or not you're good. Wouldn't you prefer that I was right? Wouldn't you rather Shawn be right in this at least? And I know I'm good, and I have days where I'm irritable, and I forget. But that's all it is forgetting. Just because I forget where my keys are, don't mean my keys aren't somewhere. Would you agree? So just because you forget you are good doesn't mean you aren't good. What a relief. And that is a mother's love. That's how you can mother yourself so generously. Those lyrics that Kenneth just sang, to think of it as God speaking to you that way. Not on God's sleepless nights, but on your sleepless nights. There is still the presence of love watching over you. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So you see, it's no longer dependent upon our mothers making it up to us for any shortcomings, no matter how radical those shortcomings may have been. It's not up to that. It's about me now taking in how I feel about how I perceive those shortcomings and being willing to say thank you. Okay, it must be good because why? I'm here. I'm here. And I am good. And here is good no matter how I feel about it. That, that capital G good that has no opposite, I can stomp my foot and throw in a temper tantrum and still I am good. Still I am good. Oh, I wish it didn't feel this way, I know, but until it stops feeling this way, I better give thanks. I better sing a little song, the Every Little Cell song, whatever. You know the Every Little Cell song? I did not plan this as part of my repertoire today. It's a wonderful song. I don't do it so much anymore, but I used to put myself to sleep with this silly song. This silly song is a wonderful prayer. Maybe you had some nurturing individual, maybe your mother, maybe your grandmother, whoever, who sang you to sleep at night, would sing a little tune to you to sleep. But this is the Every Little Cell song, and it's sung to the tune of Shortbread Bread. and it goes, every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is healthy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is healthy and well. Let's do it together. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is healthy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is healthy and well. See, this is what you can do. I always had a song going on in my head, and I feel this song is much more constructive than You've Lost That Love and Feeling. It's a great song, but it doesn't say quite the prayer I was hoping for to nourish my body. You see, the Unity founders and the New Thought founders, they sang songs like this to themselves. They mothered themselves. Because what they realized is they had to become who they were. Not their confused earthly parents' vision of them. They had to become who they were. And you and I have to become who we are. We're well on the way. But to where we can all the time. Because they say it's possible to do it all the time. It's not bad if we're not there yet, wherever there is. And there is actually here. That's another talk. But I've got to allow myself to become who I am. They told me I could be happy, joyous, and free all of the time. Well, I'm not going to worry about all of the time right now, but how about now? I can be happy, joyous, and free now. Won't worry about 10 minutes from now, or 2 minutes from now, a minute from now. Right now, I can be happy, joyous, and free. Right now, I can be who I am. I can be the beloved child of God called beautiful. I am the beloved child of God called beautiful. I am the beloved child of God called beautiful. Would you say that with me? I am the beloved child of God called beautiful. Say it again. I
am
the beloved child of God, called beautiful. One more time. I am the beloved child of God, called beautiful. And so it is. Yay.